a Halloween wreath. Full disclosure, I make a Halloween wreath every single year. This is last year's. So it didn't last a full year, which is a problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of this stuff off and we're gonna start again. Now in terms of material, what you wanna do is go to your local dollar store or a craft store, completely up to you, and buy a blank wreath. That's step one. Then you're gonna see what they have in stock for spooky things. So I found different flowers, different leaves. So I'm gonna rip this one off and show you guys. So there's leaves like this. Now I went to my local dollar store today and I found a bunch of new stuff. I found more leaves, some black cobwebs. Now, let's talk about black cobwebs for a second, or just any colored cobwebs. Here's the thing about the cobwebs. The issue is that these things, when you put them outside, birds get to them and then they will put them in their nest thinking that it's organic matter, but it's not. And that's really problematic for the environment. So, when it comes to this kind of stuff, don't put it all over your house. I know it's a cheap decor option, but really it's bad for the environment. So don't just whack it around the house the way I used to until I knew all this information. Try to just keep it for things like this. So this wreath is actually going to stay on the inside. Because we're just using dollar store stuff, it's probably better for it to stay on the inside anyways. Because we saw what happened to my wreath from last year. It didn't stick around. It didn't. I found some sparkly bits. I love sparkly bits. Some more sparkly bits. These are a lot of like maple leaves, some maple bush that I like to use. It's nice to be able to use something like that to cover most of it, and then you can add some funky accents. So I've got bones here. I've got some really sparkly roses, which I love, black sparkle roses. And some more leaves. So I'm kind of sticking with one color theme here. Last year was purple. This year I'm going more into like my golds and my oranges. Okay, to get started, what you're going to want to do is get a hot glue gun. So you want to heat it up. Be very careful when you're doing this. Obviously, it's hot. It's called a hot glue gun. I don't think you guys really need me to tell you that, but just as a reminder, so be mindful of that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip off all of the old stuff that I had, and I'm going to set it aside because I don't like to waste, and I can definitely find another use for these things. So if you guys have any ideas for what I can do with all of this extra stuff now that I'm switching over color themes, let me know. And then that way we kind of start with a blank canvas, which is truly ideal. Now, something that I have heard recently is what is happening with the Christmasification of every holiday. And I gotta say, I agree a little bit. I'm not a big Christmas person, although soon there will be videos of Christmassy type things, but with a spooky twist. But I don't love Christmas, so I always wonder, what is it about us that makes us want to Christmify, I guess that's a new word, every holiday? So that, I'm doing it right now by making a wreath that's spooky. I've seen Halloween trees, I've seen Halloween ornaments, things like that. Now, I bust that stuff out around Christmas time because I just like to keep sort of a spooky theme even during Christmas time. But what is that about us? If you can figure out why, if you understand the societal reason why we do that, let me know. Drop a comment down. I'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, so I was able to get everything off. Now I'm working with just a blank canvas. I've got one little black bit here that I can't take off, but honestly, it's good because this is right on the opposite side of where I'm going to hang it. So this is going to give me, there's my little face in here. This is going to give me a good idea of what I want to do here. So it's actually going to give me a point of reference for the bottom, so I know this is exactly halfway, just in case I want to go with some symmetry, things like that. So what I'm going to do now is it's not really easy to just start whacking things on. So what you want to start with is you just want to have a look at what materials you have and start from there. So I know that I'm going to want to add some funky bits on here. So I'm just gonna rip them off of the base, and I'm probably just gonna throw this base out. Truly, there could be a use for it. I just don't know one. If you can think of one, you let me know and I'll stop throwing these out. But for now, for the time being, I can't figure out what else I would do with these things. They're just sort of like sparkly sticks at this point. I mean, maybe there's something I could do. I don't really know. What do you think? What do you guys think? These little sparkly arms. I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point. So I am going to go in with, I want black. The black is going to make sure that things remain opaque so that I'm really covering this up. And then any of the colored or the sparkly things are just going to add on. Just to add a little razzle dazzle. Like I said, I'm going with a color scheme. You don't have to go with a color scheme. You can kind of just go a little wild if you want. But if you've got an aesthetic you're trying to curate, my aesthetic is spooky. Shocking, I know, in case you haven't been able to suss that out. I just like spooky stuff. Can you hear Aggie drinking water? I can. I wish Aggie could do crafts with me. That would be great. The limitations of a dog, though, I suppose. So yeah, I've got gold and orange. Those are sort of the two. I think they go together. Some people might disagree. Maybe in a different mood I would disagree even. But for today, I'm throwing them together. We're going to see how this goes. Okay, so I am going to start with my leaves. Personally, I really like how these are kind of all woven, because I don't have to glue things. I'm going to, but I can just sort of stick things in to start, which will give me a good idea of what I want it to look like. And that way, I'm not gluing anything down until I'm absolutely ready to do so. So I'm going to start with just sticking these leaves in. Everything. What's nice about these lace ones is that because there's like holes in them, I'm able to just go glue on one side, stick it through, and then it will stick to both sides. Okay, so I've just got two so far, but you can kind of see what I'm going for. So remember how I said I like that this is telling me where the middle is? I'm going to do some kind of symmetry so that I'm going to do two on either side, just to start. Okay. Oh, let's get this guy out of here. Okay, so see what I said? I'm just going either side. So I think what I could do now is go in with my sparkly ones. So these are black, but they've got sort of like an orange shimmer to them. So that is going to go into the next bit. And really just play around with it. You're going to like it because you made it, so that's a plus. You're going to like it no matter what. Or you're hard on yourself and you're not going to like it because you made it, and in that case, work on yourself, because we don't want any of that here. Let's try and be positive about our creations, even if they don't turn out exactly how we think we will. You guys thought this was the Goth Martha Stewart, but it's turning into the Goth Bob Ross with my little motivational things here. Okay, so I've started with this. I want sort of like a centerpiece. And I think it might be one of these guys here. I might actually stick a couple here. Okay, these look really nice. I wasn't sure. These are actually hair clips, which is funny. Let's see. Not exactly what I would do, so I think I'll keep them for this here. All right, so here's where we are at so far. We've got our sparkly flowers in the middle, and we're just kind of working our way up here. This is extremely sparkly. By the end of this project, I'm pretty sure I am going to be covered in sparkles, but that's okay. That is okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna keep going with my black. And I'm gonna start kind of folding them inward more. So these are kind of fanned out, and then we're gonna just work our way back in so that it really covers all the way around. I'm really liking how this is turning out. I'm not gonna add any of the funky bits just yet. I actually think I probably could use some of these black flowers from what I've recycled from the last time. I might not stick them on just now. These might be sort of for after to kind of fill in the gaps. But for now, we're just gonna stick with the leaves that we have. So now it's up to you. I mean, it's always been up to you, truly. Now you can sort of decide what you want to do next. So now I've got this like pretty much covered up. Now I'm gonna fill in the top with what I have left. Okay. Just got our base laid down. So if you're happy with how this looks, then now you can start gluing things down. I'm going to put something right at the top here to cover up this white bit. I just want something that's kind of like a flower. No, we're straying away from the purple, so I'm not going to reuse any of my purple bits here. Let me just grab this here. Let's see. I want to stick that here. I do. Okay. Making your own Halloween decor is so fun because when we're using and reusing things from years prior, we are saving things from landfills, first of all. But more so than that, it's just fun to know you did this yourself. For me, at least, it is. Okay, so I've got my flower here. I kind of put a leaf overlay over top of the flower. Okay, I think I am going to reuse some of these smaller leaves that I had. I just like the vibe of them. So I'm going to kind of go over this. Just a little bit more. Glue that guy down. You're just gonna press it down until it is cool so that it stays. Let me just show you kind of where we are at. So this is where we're at for now. I like it, it's kind of shimmery, it's kind of nice. We haven't added any of our fancy extra touches yet, but we will. That's the next step. These are our little lace, sparkly lace guys here that we're gonna add in. So I think I'm going to lay these over top of my front just because I think that will make a really nice sort of centerpiece for this. Remember I said once you've got this kind of down to how you want it, just you can start gluing your stuff into place. Will help keep everything steady. Decided what I'm doing with these bones, if I even want to add them. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I buy things, I think, okay, I have a vision, and then I start doing it, and I think, you know what, that might be a little much, and so I don't want to. And this might be one of those times. Let's see. You can hear Aggie wrestling in the background here. She's playing with her new toy. Oh, this guy broke when I opened it, so this guy might not be able to be salvageable, which I am sad about. I hate waste, but can't always do something about waste. Sometimes it just happens. I just stick to something a little less flashy this year, which, I mean, doesn't sound like me, but it's the first time for everything. What's nice about these lace ones is that because there's a bunch of holes in them, I'm able to just put glue on the one side, stick it through, and then it will stick to both sides. So that is good. Oh, she's looking pretty good so far. You know, I might not even do the gold. Oh my goodness, I needed far less than I thought I did. That's okay, it just means we'll have to make another crafting video using what I did not use. It's good. Gives me more stuff to do. You know, I don't usually like the simple look, but something about this I'm really digging. So this might just be the way. Maybe this is the year of simplicity for Halloween. Okay. Oh, let's get this guy out of here. Here we go. I love it. I think it turned out so nice. I would love to see what you guys come up with. The fun thing about a wreath is you can do so many things. So many things. I love the way leaves look. And like I said, this year I was going for kind of like an orange and black, and last year was more so of a purple and black. This guy's kind of sparkly. I think it turned out really nice. Well guys, thank you so much for making a Halloween wreath with me. I'm really excited to do more crafts. If you like this, let me know. If you think of what I can do with all of these extra things that I did not end up using, also please let me know. So since I didn't end up using all of that, the cost of this, of course, the wreath was from last year, but let's imagine I bought it this year, probably $1.50, and then all the material, probably about $5. How much do you think a wreath like this would cost if you bought it in the store? Far more than $5. So this DIY $5 wreath, we made it together. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Remember to comment, to like, to subscribe, to let me know if you guys want to see other things, if you want to see new things, different things. I'm all ears. Thank you for watching the Goth Martha Stewart.